hell you do?
You have any idea what a pain you are? I think so, sir.
Jim! The beach is that way!
You think the rules don't apply to you because you disagree with them.
3, 2, 1.
By now, all of you have heard what happened in London.
He's a fugitive, and I want to take him out.
Hold on! Captain, this ship will not fit.
We'll fit.
We'll fit! We'll fit!
I told you we'd fit.
I am not sure that qualifies.
So Star Trek Into Darkness really focuses on the relationship between Captain Kirk and Spock. How would you say it's developed this time around?
Well, I think that they come into the experience of this movie from very opposite ends of a spectrum of perspective, and through the course of the movie, each of them learns how much they need the other one in terms of balancing and maximizing their own potential. So as opposite as they seem, they realize that there's more similarity than they might originally consider.
J.J. Abrams is famous for keeping his films shrouded in secrecy during filming. What sort of lengths did you guys find yourselves going to conceal the details of the film?
During filming, I got real, this time around, because the very first movie we had to wear cloaks and hoods and get driven around in these cars that had, zipped up sides to it. And so when we showed up to work the first week and they tried to put us in those, I got real mad. I wasn't into it. I was like, people know what we look like. We're Spock and Kirk. Like, it's done. It's out there. The secret's spoiled. But we have to get driven around, and we're not allowed to walk around freely. And it's
Spock like Kirk. It sounded like Elaine Stritch.
Were you surprised by the news that he was going to helm the new Disney version of the Star Wars movie, or do you think it's an obvious choice?
I couldn't think of anybody more appropriate for the job, and in terms of his level of accomplishment already, it makes so much sense, and it's an ambitious undertaking. It's a daunting undertaking, and as a result, I think he's the perfect man for the job.
Will you be submitting your CVs for it, or do you think the crossover would be a little bit too strong?
You mean my curriculum vitae?
Yes, absolutely. I'm sure.
Of course I will. I've always had a real desire to play an Ewok or a Millennium Falcon.
I think you look great as an Ewok, actually.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's my job.
Perfect.
So
I'm allowed.
I'm gonna play a glamour walk.
I'm Kirk. I'm Spock.
You've also had the pleasure of working with one of our personal favourites, Benedict Cumberbatch, who plays a mysterious villain that we're not allowed to name.
Mm-hmm.
He's well known for being a particularly eccentric character. What was he like to work with?
Eccentric.
We never saw him.
Yep.
Actually, it's really weird. He did all of his work on his iPhone, just the way he did his audition, and so we would just be acting with him on his iPhone. It was bizarre, but. No, Ben's great and so talented, but more than that, he's actually just a great guy. He's really grounded, he's really funny, he's really intelligent, and he's really committed. He's such a pro, and it's no surprise to me that he's a national treasure and has already won an Olivier and will certainly be, I'm sure, in the OBE before long. He'll be an OBE.
A lot of the inventions from the original series are part of our everyday lives now, from like sliding doors to phasers, tricoders.
Communicators.
Communicators, even laser weapons now. But what would you most like to see
Also
invented?
Knives.
Yes.
What would you like to see invented?
Yeah, now.
I really want to trans-beam warp. I want to warp place, not warp, I want to beam. I want a transporter capability. Because that would be so cool, right?
Yeah.
You want to warp, you want to beam,
I want to do it
translocate.
I want to do it all.
And finally, if you could go back and deliver a warning to your past selves, what would you tell them?
Don't eat the chicken.
A warning to my past self would say, don't waste time caring what other people think.
Sage.
That would have been that would have been a warning to my early 20s, late teens, early 20s self.
We're gonna do this, we gotta do it now! You ready to swim?
I'm ready.
Punch it. Tell me this is gonna work. I believe in you.
Come on, it's gonna be fun.